From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are covering at this hour. The Democrat majority on the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court is at stake this election year. Thus, Pennsylvania is back in the spotlight with this particular high-stake court election. Republicans put Pennsylvania back in the win column in the 2024 presidential race, and they're hoping that momentum carries over to contests this year that will determine whether the state Supreme Court retains the left-leaning majority or flips to conservative control. The outcome can be pivotal in deciding cases related to abortion, election disputes, voting laws, and redistricting for Congress and the state legislature. For both sides, these races seem much, much higher profile than they used to be, said J.J. Abbott, who runs Commonwealth Communications, a progressive advocacy group in Pennsylvania. State Supreme Court races have become some of the most expensive and bitterly fought over the past few years, given how central these courts are across the country in deciding divisive issues. In Pennsylvania, November's general election will feature 3 Democrats running to retain their seats, putting Democrats' 5-2 majority on the line. All 3 justices, Christine Donahue, Kevin Dougherty, and David Weck, face a yes or no vote to win another 10-year term. Pending in Pennsylvania courts are cases that challenge laws limiting the use of Medicaid to cover the cost of abortions and requiring certain mail-in ballots to be disqualified. In 2023, business associations, political party campaign arms, Planned Parenthood, partisan advocacy groups, labor unions, lawyers groups, environmental organizations, and wealthy GOP donors, including Richard Euling and Jeffrey Yes, spend over $20 million in Pennsylvania alone. Now, this next story is personal for me. The person involved is Ashley Orr, who has been doing incredible work in our neighboring state of West Virginia. The anti-trans rhetoric and violence against me and others in our community have escalated since the election, said Ashley, who uses he, they pronouns, and that is according to LGBTQ Nation. I dealt with a stalker, death threats, physical and verbal assaults, including at the state capitol. He doesn't want to leave their home state of West Virginia, but he doesn't want to feel like he has a choice. Or an organizer and activist who works for Advocates for Trans Equality is trans. He has witnessed the place he grew up become increasingly hostile to trans people like them, and with the election of Donald Trump, feels he no longer has a choice. Orr noted that due to community activism and supportive politicians, many of the worst bills were defeated. Still, some of these bills passed, and Orr expects that it'll only get worse. As we enter this legislative session, we're bracing for another record year with even more anti-trans bills likely to pass, including bans on adult gender-affirming care, bathroom and ID restrictions, and other harmful legislation. The bigoted legislation being proposed corresponds with Orr's own experiences. Due to the ongoing harassment I faced as an openly trans person and organizer in West Virginia, my spouse and I are leaving my home state for my safety. Orr said that he and his partner have also updated all their federal documents, and he is awaiting the last hearing for his name change. Leaving my beautiful home state under these circumstances is heartbreaking, but I have to prioritize the safety of myself and my family. We will continue to tell this story during our news blasts later this evening. If you would like to learn more about the stories we cover, check out the PEP Radio page at paequality.com. Be sure to download the Live 365 app to take us with you wherever you go. That's the news for this hour. Now back to more music on PEP Radio.